Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So I'm going to be doing this summary here in just a second for the latest Deadman 10, which I'm going to bring up in now. There we go. Okay. So I've not sent the turn off as of yet. That will be happening shortly, probably later on this actual evening, really. I just wanted to go over what's actually going to be going on here. And the good news is with Singapore due to fall probably on the 28th. Yes, the 28th will be when we arrive there to begin the attack. It's looking good. It's looking good. We can see that it has removed what seems to be most of the aircraft from Singapore, which is good news. Now, the beautiful thing is, even Singapore, with all the engineers there, cannot repair that amount of damage in 2 days. And you know what the good thing is? We don't even bomb the airfield anymore, because we let him repair it for us. We actually let them repair it for us when we do take it, and then we'll be able to use it much sooner. So we're going to be doing that. So we have the 33rd and the 4th divisions here. They're set to combat mode here to make sure that they don't move too quickly. They won't arrive next turn, which will allow the Imperial Guard division with a full movement here. Even at max they could move 30 miles, which would obviously take them to 41, so they're not going to arrive until next turn. But the good news is it should work out to where they will arrive at roughly the same time. They might not have the same amount of miles, but if they actually arrive at the hex at the end of the turn, well, at the actual end of that phase, then that's fine. At the start of the land phase, I should say. So that's fine. We've got 27 preparation, 7 and 53. I do wonder if it's worthwhile sending the artillery. It probably isn't worthwhile sending the artillery, really. At least not on a shock attack. Probably not worthwhile. Probably better off having that sent elsewhere, really. Due to the fact that it could quite easily be destroyed, to be honest. I think artillery will head to the north, so what I'm going to do then is have it just remain here for the time being then. And then what we could do is we can actually have that sent to the north. And I'm sending a lot of the actual... well, yes, what I'm doing here is I'm sending like the independent mortar units and artillery units to the north. We have here, obviously, units that belong to the 18th Division, so they're remaining in position here. Might as well have them on rest and train then for the time being. There we go. So what we'll do then is, when the time does come, we will have them sent to the north. The 18th will be reformed and head north there, really. Let's give them objectives for Rangoon. We're going to be pushing for Rangoon pretty shortly, really. I'm looking forward to actually taking control of the area here. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And the good news about Rangoon is it's a source of additional fuel for us, which is nice. So you can see that there's a great deal of refineries here, 201 of them. Now, there is oil in Burma, but obviously it's not as easily accessible. So we do have to go north to, what is it, Magway, that's it. But yeah, there you go. As you can see, there's 300 oil there, there's 100 additional refinery, which is really nice. And this can be taken relatively easily. And the good news is it does shut down the Burma Road, so I think it's one of these where we do need to put in a lot of focus here. And what I've been doing then, due to the fact that we are redeploying our actual air power, is I'm going to continue to actually hit Singapore, but I'm going to be hitting the ground forces at 17,000 feet to avoid the worst of the actual AA. But we'll be going in there. It's not going to do a tremendous amount, but it's a little bit of additional damage to the actual forces here. It might give them a little bit of fatigue, a little bit of disruption. That might mean a couple men are saved, ultimately, in the actual attack itself. So we'll go for that. These lilies, these salings over here are going to be stood down for the time being. I transferred the Ki-27s from Bangkok to here to actually run cap, so I can actually have the Ki-43s moved out in the near future. I mean, the good news is all the shipping that is in Singapore will be leaving shortly. So, we'll be able to move the G3s in time, as I won't need torpedoes here. As we'll have the, we do have the capability now at Bangkok. So in fairness, I could potentially leave them. I could potentially take it and have that G3 squadron moved elsewhere. But I think for the time being, it's worthwhile to have, because there's a lot of shipping here. Would be worthwhile to sink it all, really. Which will be quite nice. So, yep, Arto is moving north. We have the RTA division moving towards the border here. Well, they've crossed the border, so not too far. I mean, what we could potentially do then is, once Singapore is actually open to us, we can actually have our forces. What I've done as well, actually, is the 2 regiments over here, I've decided it's not worthwhile having them sent down this way. What I'm going to do instead is actually have them rest for the time being. I can have them actually loaded up amphibiously if needed. Obviously, we'll have to go amphibiously. I don't know if I'll need 1 or 2. But what I might do is actually have, I'd say at least a regiment move north to Sumatra. The north end of Sumatra over here. And it means we can have a rapid conquest, really, which is nice. If I take a look at the road system there, yeah, we could land potentially around this sort of area, rapidly conquer these areas. I might just go all the way to the north to Sabang just to take the northern end there, take the airfields, but yeah. I mean, you see, there's there's more oil refineries here, which is brilliant. So yeah, what we're going to be looking towards doing then is conquering Sumatra and Malaya in totality. Pretty short. Quick, really. Quick, sharp is the word I'm looking for. So it's looking good. I'm sending 2 subs out towards Ceylon, the ones that have the higher endurance. What I will be doing then is, Georgetown over here actually does have some mines there, so I'm going to have to get those cleared out. But what I would like to do is, in time, get like an AS there. We could use that just as a fuel point. And rearmament point as well for submarines due to the fact it has a level 4 port. We'd be able to run there quite nicely until we move further to the north, really. But yeah, I don't think Rangoon's too far out. The difficulty is obviously trying to get there, but I think, to be honest, what we'll be able to do is once we actually hit the airfields over here and actually hit the port and actually just drive him out of the area, so he only has a certain amount of air power he can throw into this right now, we'll be able to probably land over here at Pagoo, which is a clear terrain hex, obviously on the major roads, and the good news, it'd be quite nice. We could potentially have these forces pushing back here. I might even, to be honest, I might not even attack there. It might be worthwhile just to wait until we have our forces in position and then launch the attack in. They may yet surrender, which would be quite good. But yeah, a division also landing there would make quick work of the area, especially when combined with the RTA. I mean, the RTA, the Royal Thai Army isn't especially strong, but obviously they do have numbers that it'll bolster our own, really, which is a good thing. Oh, speaking of that, over here at Bangkok, what I've gone ahead and done then is I've moved the 14th, the 60th, and the 90th Sentai. Now, the first, which is going to be the 90th Sentai, is going in with only 20% of its actual bombers there against the airfield. What I'm doing is I'm using the Yamada detachment over here. So they're going to be running a small cap, a little bit of rest there, and then I'm going to have them escort the bombers over Rangoon there, really. The others are just going to be resting for the time being, and then I can actually switch these squadrons around and try to minimize casualties and minimize the amount of fatigue as well. So I do have the Kaifo 31B still running escort for the actual... I'm going to put that down somewhat. Actually, no, it doesn't particularly matter because I've already sent the save off. Yeah, so they can do that. But yeah, we're going to have the third KOS here. It's now up to 41 aircraft. It'll be up to 45 tomorrow, which is good news. Obviously, we'll need some reserves here when we get the opportunity just to make sure we can keep it up to strength. But yes, they're going to be sweeping at Rangoon. They're doing 20% rest, but yes, they'll be sweeping. So what we're going to be doing then is we're going to be bombing the airfield tomorrow. We'll be hitting shipping around the actual port area, around the Andaman Sea and obviously into the Bay of Bengal. And then we'll be sweeping his fighters out of the sky. So he's going to be driven back from Burma pretty quickly, really. So that's looking pretty good. Another thing that I've been able to do is take the Ki-43s that were over here at Palembang. I moved over the Ki-43-1B squadron over here to actually help us out, which is nice. And then what I went ahead and did is moved Ki-43s over here. And we have Ki-43s over here now as well. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking Ambon in the... I'm going to say within about a week, Ambon will fall. What I'm doing here is loading up 2 regiments, a little bit of supply, and then we'll go ahead and we'll take Ambon. I've got a reconnaissance unit over here now positioned... Yeah, you can see... Oh, not that one, sorry. There we go. So you can see we have this reconnaissance unit set up to actually give us eyes on Ambon, which is good news. What I'm going to do here then is I'm taking the battleships, so Nagato, Mutsu, Hyuga. They're going to be moving down here to Ternat, and then we're going to actually be able to make use of Ternat to refuel. What I could potentially do then in the near future is move the AKE to Ternat. But we'll see about that. I mean, frankly, I don't think it's going to take much to take it, but once we have reconnaissance, at least we'll get an idea of what we're going up against. I think 2 regiments will definitely be enough to take it if they're well supported, well supplied. Obviously, if they have air power to obviously protect them, and if they have bombardment on standby, that should be enough. But indeed, having the naval bombardment capability would be very nice. I could have one of the actual battleships potentially on station to actually protect us. Something to take into consideration is mines, and I do have some AMCs over here, so what I could do is actually put these coastal minesweepers into the actual force there, and at least then it gives us a little bit in the way of actual minesweeping capabilities in the actual China City's mines. What I'm doing down here at Kopang is we're sending the Naval Guard unit that's here, the 16th, to take these bases in the area. The heavy cruiser group is moving out this way to actually go ahead and intercept these guys. Sink more of those. I'm going to be running a naval strike mission out from Palembang with the G3s, yes. And we'll try and hit something in this area. We're going to be resting most of the fighters here. And just really getting ready to actually step up the offensive against Batavia once again. But yes, the good news is once Singapore falls, it's going to be fantastic. But we're already feeling the benefits. We're already getting air power being moved out and made available elsewhere, which is superb. And the carriers are going to continue to move out here. What I'm going to do then is actually have these carriers move towards a singular sort of position. They're going to be moving a lot closer to each other. These guys are going to continue to the north there. There is a possibility that he may send some surface forces out to actually intercept us, but we do have 2 subs heading that way. That might act as a picket. But what I'll do then is I'll have one more day where they are decentralized, and then I'll centralize them once again, really. But yep, we have 15 ships in this area here that we can try and actually sink, which is going to be very good. And then what we could potentially do then is move towards Victoria Point to refuel, perhaps. Or rearm, wherever, really. We've got a few opportunities. We'll have some AKEs coming in the near future. So what I could potentially do is just move a few AKEs up to this sort of area. Like, Victoria Point's nice. It's only a level 1 port. But that's okay. If it's got fuel, that's got fuel. Obviously, I'd rather have Georgetown made use of, but obviously we need to clear the mines out of there. But Georgetown, in general, just makes a nice little position there. But yeah, we'll have a few options, frankly. So, over here, the Kitabatai is going to be split. The Kitabatai is going to be heading directly towards Rabaul for the time being. We don't have fuel there at Rabaul. All the ships are going to be moving out towards Wake just for their own protection, really. All these other ships will be moving towards Wake as well. These guys moving out of the area. I've gone ahead and taken the actual fighters over here and put them a little bit of rest on there. But we're going to keep up the cap trap, potentially. But yeah, we're going to try and evacuate this area. It was a shame about the light cruisers, but then again, it's hard to predict what he's going to do. And I suppose we got predictable there, really. But we'll see. There's still chances to inflict losses on him. I did get those opportunities. These guys are going to be heading towards Truck. What I can actually do then is have the aircraft from the Karga moved elsewhere, and then what we could potentially do is have the A5M4s resize aboard the Karga. And I could even use her to actually transfer the A5M4s further to the south, but what we'll do then is have them actually transition into A6M2 in the near future. Oh, another thing that's going on is the actual naval headquarters of 5th Fleet over here. Now, due to that being a command headquarters, what we're going to do is move it over here to Jolo, where it'll be able to use its command radius. And I think command headquarters can actually help within about 18 hexes, which from Jolo, if I'm correct, would obviously put us within range to help at Clark, Bataan, Manila, that sort of thing there. It seems like he's looking to make some sort of stand over here at Clark. Luckily, he's not moving all the AV in the area. There's around about 200 or 300 AV here. There's about 100 odd AV in the Marine Regiment that's probably moving out from Bataan, which will arrive around about the same point. We do have all the divisions heading south, so you can see we have 21st, 2nd, 38th and 48th. Obviously, it's additional elements of the 2nd Division are moving south, but that's still, I mean, that's 1,645 AV. That's a lot of AV. The engineers are moving here as well. We do have additional forces moving into the area as well, like additional engineer units, additional heavy artillery, which is good. Over here to the north, we have the 1st Asabo SLF, which I'll probably have moved out towards, maybe towards like Samar, or just take these islands around the area. We have a tank regiment that could be made use of as well, if needs be. I'll probably just have it moved south, or even just have it reloaded, moved elsewhere. These guys, these destroyers moving down here to actually act as protection. There's a destroyer over here that's going to act as protection. Oh yes, we are going to be dropping at Port Blair tomorrow with aircraft. With the paratroopers over here, the Yokosuka 3rd SLF, they're going to be dropping there tomorrow at Port Blair. So they managed to move in a good number of actual aircraft over here to actually do the deed, which is good. Yeah, so it's going well enough. I mean, what I'm going to do then is Karga is going to head over here to refuel a truck, but I'm also taking Hirei Kirishima. So what I can do then is have her meet up with the Haruna and the other ships over there as well. So we could have a free battleship task force that could go ahead and bombard Wake Island. Having Karga available as well would be nice. Actually give us the air cover out there if we need it. The submarines are returning. These submarines that will arrive back home tomorrow, give or take. One at least should arrive tomorrow. What I'm going to do then is have them load mines and mine Wake Island. We will take Wake Island. It's just going to be a matter of time, really. I do have a regiment over here at Papaldwar that I might have sent out to Wake. But we'll see. I might look at actually neutralizing the base of neutralizing the airfield. Perhaps. Right, so we did take BLeAcHACiD with no damage, which was absolutely fantastic. Moved in some kind of 27s here as well. But yeah, taking BLeAcHACiD undamaged is a real big gain there. Now, ideally would take SunYan in a similar state, but I doubt it. We'll see, though. It looks like he's actually moving his assets out of the Philippines, so we're going to try to actually sink these, which is going to be quite good. That needs to be sent to a little bit attack. Okay. Yeah, it's going well enough, really. We've had losses, but we are inflicting losses on him. We are taking the actual key objectives that we need as well, which is always a good thing. And in China, that brigade's moving back there to act as a garrison. I still have a good collection of divisions over here, and divisions over here as well. I need to decide how I want to actually use them, really. I'm somewhat tempted to potentially have them made available to take these forces out to the south. I think a division split, potentially 2 divisions split into their detachments could actually give us enough units to possibly block their lines of retreat, but we'll have to think about that. I still like the idea of taking the roadways over here, but we'll see about that. Over here, we're getting ready to move upon Luoyang, really. That's the one I want to move upon. And then also we'll go ahead and move upon Xi'an. There's still every chance I might cancel an offensive down in this area and actually have those divisions move north. I need to decide upon that. It wouldn't harm us in any way to have additional divisions in this area to just force our will, really. Xi'an's obviously a big prize there. But no, it's going well. We do have our submarines out here in the Pacific, going ahead and running a very nice little patrol plan. So what we'll do then is, once the actual submarines have returned, is we're going to have them organised into subdivisions, which is going to be really quite good. I'm looking forward to being able to do that. And there is a remote possibility that the American carriers do move through. I kind of expect them to move towards Port Moresby. He could move to Port Moresby to refuel, perhaps, if there's fuel there, I'm not sure. But I feel like he probably will move to Port Moresby to strike again. I feel that's likely to happen there. But we'll see. I doubt he'd move into the Solomon Sea. There's a chance he could do, but I doubt it'll happen. But yeah, we'll see how things go. I mean, it's going well. We've taken losses over here, but that's to be expected. It's a shame, but he's a very good player, and I think people need to remember that. He's far better than me. But the important thing is we are taking the key objectives in the Dutch East Indies. I mean, Singapore's going to be falling in 2 days. Clark cannot last long. And once Clark's gone, then we march upon Manila. We'll see how his forces actually move, whether they retreat to the north or where they go. They're likely to retreat to Bataan, but if I could actually force them to retreat to Manila, that'd be a really nice big win for us. The thing is, I don't want to have to march to Bataan. I'm going to have to march there, of course, but it's just... I'd rather not, because it's at the end of a secondary road and it takes 4 days, and I don't have time for that. We want to be taking all of Luzon very, very quickly. We want the entire Philippines conquered very quickly. And that's going to take a little bit of time. I think what I'd probably do then is have a division send then towards Mindanao, potentially with support as well. And, yeah, another division could be then used to actually take all these bases here, really. So I might keep 2 divisions in the Philippines until we actually have it all conquered. Not that they're really required, but we could have them broken up into detachments, which would give us a lot of power just to send around and take bases. A couple Naval Guard units are going to be sent out this way, which is going to be good. I've got a Naval Guard unit over here, which is the 81st, which is moving down here to take Pontianak. The other element of the 81st is over at Bardwar, so what I'm going to do then is have them take these bases, then they can probably link up back home. But yes, we will be attacking Samarinda tomorrow. This is looking good, yeah. I think what we need to do then is conquer Ambon within the week, and that will be the last vestige of resistance out in this part of the Banda Sea, really, this part of the Dutch East Indies. And what I'd like to do then is future objectives after we've obviously secured BLeAcHACiD and Samarinda, is I'll have a regiment take Banjarmasin perhaps, and then obviously I'll have some sort of naval guard unit take Denpasar, and we'll have Oosthaven in the near future as well, which will give us a real nice objective. Well, a real nice base to launch our attacks from. Because what we could do is we can actually just base fighters there, and then it means that they're only making very short trips, which is really nice. But it's looking good. It's looking good. I hope to see it come to fruition, really. So until next time, thank you for watching. Thank you to all of my patrons. You guys are awesome. See you next time. Tena Heka Banzai.